morning, delegates. Welcome to La Maison de l'UNESCO. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Gan Sethi, Director of Division for National Commission and Civil Society.
Good morning and welcome to UNESCO. Dear friends, dear delegates, for me it's a real pleasure and a great honor to welcome you here on behalf of our Director General, Mrs. Irina Bokova. For us, working with you is one of the great priorities of the organization. And working with you with the Institut d'études des relations internationales and Model United Nations Association, it's a great honor for the organization. I know that you have already organized two other previous meetings like this on very important items and subjects for the humanity. The first one you organized was on biodiversity, and the second one on the alimentary crisis. And today your subject will be taking measures towards nuclear disarmament. Of course, the nuclear disarmament is not a subject related directly to the work of our organization. That you know, UNESCO works in the field of education, culture, science, and communication. But of course, the ultimate objective of the organization is the building peace. So for us, it's a great opportunity that you have chosen UNESCO as a platform for your so important meeting of today. And as you know, in our constitution, there are the words that are very well known in the world now. It's since war begins in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defense of peace must be constructed. So building peace for our organization, as I told you, it's one of the main objectives. On a more practical ground, for UNESCO, which working very hard in the field of education, it's so important to have among us students from the most prestigious and excellent schools from France, but also from other member states of the organization. And you are focusing today in one of the more important issues and platforms of our work as a UN model. Of course, you are studying, but at the same time you are having your dreams for the future, for your professional life. And we are sure that we are convinced that among you will be many diplomats, journalists, and perhaps people that will work in our organization. So building a relationship from the time that you are students for UNESCO is a very important thing. I had thought that you have the possibility of relations working on UN resolutions, but also on different procedures of this very prestigious organization. Of course, we are now in the middle of our executive board meeting, because otherwise for me it would be a great pleasure following all your proceedings during the day. But of course it would be perhaps other colleagues from UNESCO that will follow your work. Saying this, I welcome you again and wish every success in your very important meeting today. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, honorable members of the jury and chair, fellow delegates. On behalf of all the members of IERUN Association, of I'd like to welcome you to this third edition of Paris Model United Nations, and thank you for coming in such a great number. Exactly 2 years ago, I was sitting right where you are today, representing the United States of America. It was the first time I attended the Model UN conference, and I have to admit, it was intimidating. I was well prepared, just as you are, but inexperienced, just like some of you, but it was all right. Because I got involved in defending the US position, gathering people and make them stick to our position. My point here is that some of you are attending a Model UN for the first time too, and I know it might be impressive from where you're sitting, but believe me, it will get easier as it goes along. Get involved. Put yourself into it and do your best. So it will be an unbelievable experience. And for the other delegates, those who know the rules, the procedure, those who already wrote several resolutions, don't forget that together you're stronger. Dear delegates, it's time to make diplomacy our top priority. Today, you, future leaders, will take a concrete step towards nuclear disarmament. This is the moment to begin the work of seeking a world without nuclear weapons. Even if you have experienced difficulties until now, make advancements in your policies. I'm sure that you will create a strong cooperation of willingness in the name of all the nations to provide safety and peace. You will demonstrate that free nations can make common cause on behalf of common security. This means resisting the walls that stand in the way of change. You have an obligation to common prosperity. You need, through your resolution, to verifiably end the production of material intended for use of nuclear weapons. Make no mistake, as long as these weapons exist, they threaten our nations, what we have built, our environment, and also our health and survival. The nuclear weapon states should aim at reducing the role of nuclear weapons in the national security strategy and call others to do the same. You need to strengthen the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty as a basis for cooperation by reaching new agreements which are legally binding and sufficiently bold. The UN has been and remains a key player by promoting universal values and consensus. This is the moment where the world and the United Nations must renew the long-term goal of world free of nuclear weapons. Some states have joined the club of nuclear weapons, and some others are knocking on the door. To advance your interest, you need to go further with negotiations so that you will not only reach agreement with the countries but also produce efforts towards change. Now, before moving to the session, I would like to introduce you to the members of the jury. Mr. Jean-Louis Bourbon, Professor of European Law. Mrs. Amanda Mengati, Language Department Director. Ms. Céline Lourimi, Language Department Assistant. Mr. Pierre-Antoine Michel, former President of Illumination Association. And myself, Sophie Gillon, President of Illumination Association. And also our Director General, Jeanne Chamblanc. Our Chair, Nathaniel Moll. President and founder of the Illumination Association. Our Vice Chair, Yann Béraud, Vice President of the Illumination Association. May the rapporteur begin the roll call.
Afghanistan.
Honorable Chair, my fellow delegates, the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan is proud to be present today.
Delegates, when we call upon your name, I know that the microphone is pretty low. Raise your placard nonetheless, okay? Raise your placard so that we can see you're here, okay? And state whether you're present or present and voting. Thank you.
Algeria.
Algeria present and voting.
Argentina.
Argentina is present and voting.
Decorum, delegates. Decorum. Delegates, please abstain from laughing. Thank you.
Australia.
Australia is present and voting.
Excuse me, are you present and voting? Austria. Azerbaijan. Bahrain.
Kingdom of Bahrain, present and voting.
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh is present and voting.
Belarus.